Hello to everyone watching this. My name is Calvin Frimpong and I'm an artist, and welcome to my channel. I appreciate the view. Thank you very much. So in this video, I'm just going to be painting and I'm going to be talking about just a little something that's been on my mind. Now, in modern history and throughout history, there are things that we don't talk about, and more recently, I think this is something that we've been walking on eggshells about. Some people are divided about it, but it is UK's involvement with the genocide of Palestinians. Now, this is something that a lot of people have covered, a lot of articles have covered. And what UK is doing in Palestine is not something that's new, it's something that we have seen throughout history, and which is exactly the point of the video today. So stay tuned, and if you have any comments about it, please just leave it in the comment section. And 1649, a king named Charles I lost his head because he believed he was accountable only to God. He believed in the divine right, the idea that his power was biological and spiritual, and therefore unquestionable. Today, that arrogance is not the same, but it's still in the depths of our society. And whilst I do this painting, I'm going to show you how we're using a 300-plus-year-old script to justify modern atrocities. To understand the why, we have to take a look at something called ship money. So, in the 1630s, Charles I wanted to fund his military without asking Parliament for permission. Guess what he did? He used an ancient emergency tax meant for coastal defense and applied it to the whole country during peace. He used something called state emergency. That was the fear that he wanted to push out. He used state emergency fear, drawn out and manufactured really to just bypass the law. It was the original executive overreach. He told the people it was for their safety, but really it was just to consolidate his own power. They have the right to bypass the truth, fund figures who are detrimental to the structural integrity of society, and rewrite British values to serve their profit. The purpose of the emergency wasn't to save us. It is to give the state the legal right to ignore you. This is where the script gets a bit dangerous. This is referring to Mussolini. To understand modern populism, we have to understand the birth of fascism. So, in 1917, the British M15 or MI5 was literally paying Benito Mussolini £100 a week to run pro-war propaganda. Now, why was this needed? Some people may ask. It's literally because the elite needed a weapon against the working class. Mussolini's greatness was a hollow shell. He was a master of the pander. He knew how to pander. He would pose shirtless in fields, pretending to be a man of the soil, whilst he was actually dismantling every union and strike in Italy. Fascism is the art of using the worker as a stage prop, while you hand the keys of the country to industrialists and the rich. In our society, this appears as the billionaires' populism. We see American-linked billionaires moving to the UK to fund figures like Nigel Farage. These figures use simple words to normalize horrific things. They tell the worker that the enemy is the other, the immigrant, the protester, whilst they themselves, they've never worked a day in their lives. We're laughing at the joke, the people are making the banter about Nazis, these little edgy meetups, and they're destroying everything around us. They reduce criminal hate crimes to mere jokes to desensitize us. Look, if you're busy just laughing at a joke, you're not going to notice the 14 shipments of munitions leaving the docks. Now, this leads us to Palestine. 1917 wasn't just the year of the Mussolini paycheck. It was the year of the Balfour Declaration. Now, Britain promised a land that they did not own, and they never stopped arming the result. Now, today, I wrote this in 21st April 2026, we look back at the legacy of complicity. Now, since October 2023, there have been at least 14 shipments of military goods from the UK to Israel, including over 8,500 munitions and 146 armored vehicle parts. Now, that is a serious involvement now. that is money funding. That's not just that, you're directly giving the weapons to the people who are committing these atrocities. Now, they said Hamas beheaded babies, they said Palestinians kidnapped children, but most of those claims were proven to be false. Meanwhile, Israel's military has actually killed thousands of babies, bombed schools, and starved a trapped population. Now, when the state bombs refugee camps and blocks food, that's not self-defense, that's a genocide. The UK, unfortunately, is not neutral. It is the provider of the script and the supplier of the lead. So, now, where does the solution even begin? It begins by refusing to be the audience for the performance. When the rich fund figures who are detrimental to society, we must call it what it is. It's a breach of social contracts. We have to stop accepting the joke as a shield for hate. The solution isn't more rants, it's really education. It's looking at that old ass script and realizing that greatness built on 8,000 plus munitions, that's a lie. Real solutions start when we stop looking down at targets that they give us and start looking up at the hands holding the golden strings. Now, real solutions start when we stop looking down at the targets they give us and start looking up at those hands holding the golden strings. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a very interesting one. I hope you like the painting. It's I don't know what to title it yet. It's something about, so obviously the dude in the I don't know. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video until the end. If you haven't, please remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll be doing more paintings as we keep going along, and I'll be showing you guys a lot more of my views and expressing a lot more interest in what's happening in the world right now. Stay educated, please.